Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you coming on by. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Just come on in. Come on in. We're here to listen to some good music. I hope that you are as well. Today we are going to do a full album listen of Bacamarte. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I hope I'm saying it close. Depois du film. I know I'm way off, and I apologize. But the album translated is After the End, the first album by Brazilian progressive rock band Bacamarte, released in 1983. And the translation of the album, like I said, After the End, and their name comes across as Blunderbuss. That's kind of a cool name. A blunderbuss? Who names themselves after like such an interesting weapon? But they do, and I think that's kind of cool. So yeah. That's what we're going to be doing today, listening to this full album here. Hope that you guys are ready for it. Hope that you're looking forward to it. I didn't really mention this album. I just wanted to do this one personally. A few of you had recommended it as well, but this isn't part of a Long Song Saturday, even though technically it could be. This is just us having a little bit of a good time. This is just a little bit of extra. I don't always do extra full album listens because it's a time commitment, but I would like to every once in a while. So this particular album and the band, as a matter of fact, were recommended several times by João Emanuel Macedo Souza. I know I messed up your name. I apologize. But you've recommended this album and the band at least several times. Reynaldo Favoretto, Mark Spooner, Gab Sound. You guys, that is it, have recommended this album. So hope that you guys are looking forward to listening to it with me. I'm very interested. Apparently this is a concept album as well, which we'll dive into the story of it as we go. I have the lyrics pulled up in English, translated from Portuguese. Without further ado, that is the do. Press the like button before you even go on. Get it out the way. If you'd like to support what I do, and you like these random album listens, and you know, when I try to do more stuff like this, support the channel on Patreon. Don't have to. We don't do these videos and everything for the views. If you haven't noticed, we're just here to listen to some good music. So let's go ahead and do that, starting off with the first track here, which is entitled UFO. Let's go. Harpsichord or clavichord. It's got a very classical air. heavy. This is kind of cool, huh? We're going through a lot of motions. See, like it has this classical playfulness to it at certain moments. There you go. I like how the flute just sneaks in there. I thought we were gonna get more drums. Like how it turns from like a steady pace to a gallop. Back to that. Basis is tearing it up during that part though. Big ending. I mean, if there was a piece of showmanship, musicianship, and flying ships, this was it. This had everything. This was a packed prelude into what I'd imagine is coming forth. This is, oh God, I just forgot what it's called. This, when the opening piece of the album or rest of the symphony, like it has parts of everything else to come. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Why am I forgetting this? You know exactly, it's a very easy term. I used it before. But you can see a lot of what I would assume are pieces of what would come later in future songs here in this particular piece. Just a lot. The classical Spanish guitar that's being played in the very beginning is a really nice setup, kind of setting up this glittering, fluttering kind of atmosphere before it settles down. And the track goes through several motions of, like I said, I mean, classical influence. The flute was a nice little piece there. The bass playing throughout is phenomenal. The guitar never lets up. The guitar is going to be played by Mario Nito. Just absolutely fantastic. The bass, Delso Si Mas. Woo! That part that I kept on mentioning, like when the guitarist is just going off with that riff, like bum ba dum da da, right? And the bass during that part is just da 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 da, just going up and down the fret with melodic phrasing that is just glorious to listen to. If it was slightly produced like up more front, You would almost get a Chris Squire S tone on it because of how forward the sound was, which I thought was really, really nice. I love that. Drumming was really nice as well. Verissimo on the drums. There were a lot of changes in this track, and that's why I feel like it's kind of an introductory montage to what's to come later on. And if this is a preview of things to come, I think that we're in for a pretty good time with a lot of different influences in here. I'm curious to see where the band goes from here. This track was obviously instrumental, but I do see that there's vocals on pretty much every other track in the album. Stunning. I like the synth work in here. The song is called UFO, and the synth work wasn't like so overblown. It was just brought in kind of casually for a few melodic lines here and there to kind of spice things up, and then it backed off. This is a really good first track. I'm very curious to see where it goes. At first, I was getting like an early Genesis vibe, just with like those pastoral qualities, but they eventually kind of grew into something of their own. Let's go into the next track here, which is Smog Alado. Smog Alado. Here we go. Which means winged smog. Snappy. Oh, that's awesome. Rip it. Back guitar. Heavy and synthy as anything. That is awesome. This synth is just cutting through everything. All right. This is a lot to take in, but it's a lot of good stuff to take in. Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? What a lovely voice she has. That's going to be Jane Duboc on the vocals. Wonderful. That is just so good to listen to. Amongst the chaos of the music, she is like a clear pathway, an angel, a dove, a beam of light, showing you the melodic way through, showing you through the shadow and fog. That's good. That's very good. I gotta go back to the keyboards though. Keyboards, Sergio Valarin. The synth, once again, especially that heavy moment where it was just absolutely brutal. That breakdown was heavy. And like I said, right after, her voice shines through like a ray of hope, just lighting up the path. This song still retains a lot of the complexities from before, from the previous piece, but now it streamlines it a little bit. There's definitely a darker and heavier turn on this one. The drumming is off the wall, catching a lot of different hits, a lot of changes within the music. Obviously, everyone else is doing their part. I love the little bits of flute that are once again showing up. Even if it's just like part of those hits, right? Just you just hear that. And then it along with the guitar, the bass, and everything, and the drums, of course. Which I just think is kind of funny how the flute is adding to the hits there. I'm just trying to pull up the lyrics here really quick. So, like I said, this one is entitled Winged Smog. Let me go ahead and do a little translate here. In the light of darkness, immense serpent roams the air, moving heavy airs into the red rivers, already ditches perfumed by smog winged. Fight against the mage's cauldron that the enchanted condom created. Okay. Beginning of the end of boiling. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of a wizard saying, use this. Okay. I don't know what's going on yet in the story. Apparently there is a story. I just don't know what any of this quite means just yet. There's some sort of battle that's either begun or about to begin. I don't know though. But the music's great. Really, really great. And apparently Jane Duboc, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, is very, very successful outside of this band and very well known outside of this band. She has a Wikipedia page about her. Brazilian singer, songwriter, sportswoman, writer. In the position of 73 on the list of 100 greatest voices in Brazilian music. And achieved success in the 80s with romantic themes and songs. She has a long and varied career, doing a lot, but she sounded great here. I'm curious, was this the first band or group that she sang with and then she moved on to this success after? And how did that move go? Because that's quite interesting. All right, let's move on into the next track here, which is going to be... No, I gotta pull it up here for us. Mirajam. I hope I'm pronouncing all of this correctly. Let's go. Which means mirage. Definitely playing with those Eastern chords. hand. That is a cool part. That's a cool, like, very progressive kind of moment with those hits here. That bass breaks away. Yes, the word I was thinking of was overture. Okay, this is the type of instrumental piece of progressive rock music that I really like. There's a lot of changes still happening, a lot of themes flipping this way, going that way, but it's very cohesive in my opinion. The beginning with those Sahara-like guitar notes, that Eastern bending and pitch, wonderful, love it. Then we bring in the rest of the instruments. However, Mario on guitar, he is the star on this one. His guitar playing is out of this world. I have never heard of Mario Nito, but I have to say, I think that, I don't want to go too far ahead and say he's like one of the best guitar players I've heard, but he is very, very impressive. He knows his guitar well. I see you know your judo well. Okay. No, I'm distracted. Really fantastic guitar playing. He shreds. But once again, just like that opening, he also brings the atmosphere. At the halfway point, when we're left with just the organ and the flute, which is a wonderful combination. Just once again, Marcus Mora on the flutes, and then on the organ, you have Sergio Villarum. Just a really great moment of kind of calm, and yet once again, there's this kind of something looming, something sussy looming there. There's a mood that's being built and created. And when Mario comes back on the guitar, he doesn't come into the shredding and all that stuff that he was throwing out before. He just comes in with those, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think using the volume pedal, kind of like Steve Hackett does, those little, like those kind of arcing notes. I don't know. This is all my terminology for it. But I like how he uses his guitar at that moment just to add to the atmosphere, not to take away by throwing in all these notes and all this shredding that he was doing before, as good as it did sound. And then when he got into what I say is that proggy moment, those hits, the bum, 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 or however it went, that is such a cool way of kind of gaining this momentum and excitement back into the music before repeating it all and going through all these motions. It's just really, really fantastic. That is a really great track. Let's move on to the next one, huh? Next one is going to be Pasado de Luz, which means passage of light. Wait, is it passage of light? It also says bird of light. I think it's passage of light. Let's go with that one. Here we go.
Surge no céu pássaro de luz, clareando o sol, colorindo o chão. Vem de muito além das estrelas, vem semear a paz que ele reluz. Nosso mundo abençoado.
See what I mean about her voice just being that ray of light?
Vai tornar reais as formas das nuvens, mais que um simples sonho, o amanhã. Surge no céu pássaro de luz, clareando o sol, colorindo o chão. Vem de muito além das estrelas, vem semear a paz que ele reluz. Nosso mundo abençoado.
The way that doubled in came in.
Vai tornar reais as formas das nuvens, mais que um simples sonho, o amanhã.
Some strings maybe, huh? So technically this track ends side one of the album, and I love how we ended on this light note. Once again, Miss Jane, wonderful voice, like frosting on a cupcake. It's light, it's fluffy, it's airy. I love that moment when her voice goes just a little bit higher. She pushes it into that next level, into that next note, and it sounds very, very lovely. I'm not going to try and emulate it because I sound horrible doing it, but for your enjoyment, I will do it. She goes, like that part, really, really fantastic. A lot better than I could do. Once again, the guitar playing is also the star, but I also really liked the moment when I believe it's going to be Delto Simas on the bass, and I thought I heard like maybe cello or something like at the very end, but since I don't see that instrument listed, I'm going to assume that it's Delto dragging a bow across his bass and providing that sound, which I think adds just a nice little bit of depth and kind of, once again, that classical string sound to the music as the band is clearly going for. That was my foot. As I was listening to the music also, I'm kind of getting, not like necessarily this song, but I'm kind of getting hints of Focus, Renaissance, to me, early Genesis, just because of that pastoral guitar and stuff. I'm getting flavors. I'm getting flavors. So the lyrics on this one: appears in the sky a bird of light, brightening the sun, coloring the ground. Comes from far beyond the stars, comes to sow the peace that it shines. Our world will bless. It will make real the shapes of the clouds, more than a simple dream tomorrow. So, I mean, that actually perfectly encapsulates what I was saying. Her voice is a ray of hope. This song, I'd imagine, is about hope. And we never really read into the concept of it, but at least here, just a little blurb on Wikipedia says that it's a conceptual album which tells the story of the post-apocalypse in the world. So even though I don't know like the exact story that's happening, this is definitely that glimmer of hope for these people in this post-apocalyptic situation. And now also looking at the album cover, I mean, they look like they're in a desperate situation, hiding away in a cave. I can't tell what the lady's bending and looking at in there. I think it's like their kids. But like it's this family, it seems like that they're in this desperate situation, this dystopian future. They're hiding out, and I feel like this song is actually kind of the light that we're seeing here in the tunnel of the album cover. All right, let's move on into the second side of the album now. Hope that you guys are enjoying it. The next two tracks, the next one's only a minute, 2 minutes long, and then the one after that is almost 10 minutes long. So I'm gonna let these two go together just because the first one's so short. And as you guys sometimes know, I like to throw in a little test to see who's like watching at this point. Like who's really watching the whole video, right? I got a question that you can answer in the comments, and then you can go ahead and put your normal comment. What does my shirt say? I know it says dead inside, which my wife laughs because I'm clearly not. I really just bought this shirt because I love the colors, but I don't get the concept. I see the cup of coffee and the ghost coming out of it, but what's dead? The coffee, is it dead? And like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I like the colors, and I think it was kind of cute. So let's go and listen to the next two tracks. The first being Canyo, and the next one being Last Sunset. Here we go. That opens the second side of your album. Which means spout, by the way. I like that beat, that groove. Building that tension again. That's cool interplay. Oh, I'm gonna try it. Drum roll. Quick hits. Accordion? Now it's moving on to the next track. Last Sunset. That was intense. That was a really good opening to the second side. You know this is the centerpiece. I love that guitar there. That phrasing he's using in there.
O sangue brota no horizonte, a vida estanca na rua, as almas se trancam nos corpos, que loucos se atiram à lua. O sangue brota no horizonte, a vida As almas se trancam nos corpos que loucos se atiram à lua.
I love a big open art piece like that. Go off. Bringing a bit of that tension again. Okay, definite big change there. This is when they're just having this little battle between each other. That was like a heat of the moment just clashing together. And right back to this. Piano led the way.
Podem nunca acabar. Crepúsculo envolve a terra, o medo para no ar. O mundo se envolve em trevas que podem nunca acabar.
I like how Sergio on the piano kind of acts as this transition piece. Hard to pick out those notes while he's doing that fluttering. Like, how is he doing that? Maybe. about to say that intensity was coming. I felt it in my bones.
Na noite repleta de trevas, ao céu se eleva uma prece, pedindo que a vida recomece. Num novo amanhecer.
I need a big ending. Give me a big ending. Give me that payoff. That's it. Going. The piano comes in like a rich vein. Man, from like the first minute, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be that epic on the album. Obviously, it's the longest song, but the longest doesn't always mean the best. But in this case, at this point, it for sure does. At the very end, when Jane came back in, along with that piano, which always acted as like the harbinger of something new, something coming, right? A transition of sorts. When the piano and Jane came back in, I was like, oh. And I heard the melody on that piano. I was like, come on, I feel it. Then you heard the guitar playing those volume pedal notes, right? I'm like, and then they gave you that big drum roll for that final big cathartic moment. That is great. I love that. Yeah, I knew from the first minute that this is going to be an epic track. I love the mood that's established in the first half, though. That we revisited at the end. I like that big, very epic, very powerful, and yet extremely melodic kind of sound and playing that we get. Once again, the piano is a great star. Sergio on the keyboards, obviously Mario on the guitar. Everyone is just really fantastic. And I really like how the bassist, what was his name again? Simas, Delto Simas. I really love those moments where he gets to fill in and add in like a little bass fill into certain moments, like at the end when he rips it really quick up and down the fret. Just like everyone is just on fire here, and I love how well constructed this track is as well. The fast parts kind of come out of nowhere. I'll give you that. It kind of comes out of nowhere, at least on a first listen. But the song is so enjoyable that like on repeated listens, I'm going to be looking forward to those moments. They do add a little bit of intensity, a little bit of heat into the action, and they add action into the music. But it's that is very good. But like I said, and if I go back just a little bit, these moments right here, like that is that powerful music that I'm living for. That is what I'm looking forward to. You know, I enjoy that a lot more than the squirmy, wormy, wiggly doodly kind of music. Like, you know, I like that more. But when they're combined in a way that can be very satisfying, like I think is done here, I'm all for it both ways. Either way, Jane, you're an angel. Whew. And there's even that moment, maybe, I don't know, on the third verse, because she only sings 3 verses on here. On, I think, the third verse, when she comes back in, and of course with her radiant self, but the music behind her, especially on the keyboards, actually sounds a little bit more menacing. And I think that's kind of cool. It actually adds a different kind of dimension to her voice and perhaps to what she's singing about at that point. That's really good. Blood wells up on the horizon. Life comes to a standstill on the streets. Souls lock themselves in bodies that madmen throw themselves at the moon. Twilight envelops the earth. Fear hangs in the air. The world is enveloped in darkness that may never end. In the night filled with darkness, to the heavens it rises a prayer, asking for life to begin again in a new dawn. So this basically seems like it's the eclipse from Berserk. It is just the darkest of times. This is the worst of times. But they're hoping and praying for the best of times to be right around the corner. Like it says, a new dawn, asking for life to begin. So I feel like this is that point of desperation in the story when they're really putting all their efforts, whatever that may be. Like I said, I don't know the literal story, but they're putting all their hopes, their efforts, and their dreams into this final act, whatever it may be. And will it succeed? We gotta listen to the next few tracks to find out. So let's listen to the next 2 tracks ending the album, actually. Once again, we have a 2-minute track followed by a 6-minute and 30-second track. So we'll let these 2 go together. That will be the tracks. Hold on. Let me pull it over right here. I got it right here. Controversia and the title track, Depois do Fim. I know I'm not saying that correctly. Depois do Fim. Depois do Fim. Which means controversy and then after the end. Let's Depois do Fim. Let's can I get a translation to see if I'm even pronouncing that correctly? Let's do a Portuguese. Hold on, gotta spell it right first of all. Portuguese to English. Okay, enter text. I got you. Let's see how my computer or how Google pronounces it.
Depois do fim.
Depois de fim.
Depois do fim.
Depois do fim.
Depois do fim.
Thank you. After the end. Here we go. Interesting sound. It's like Geno Giant-ish. Right? This reminds me of like a Yes interlude. Oh, Fragile. Sounds cool. Sounds like something ELP would do, like that sound. Controversy has such a cool sound. There's a lot going on, but it is fun. It is fun, I'll tell you that. And now the last track. Very soundtrack and cinematic.
Já se foram os 4 cavaleiros, terminada a terrível missão. Olha o que restou sobre a terra, se é a terra que olhamos agora, agora.
Hitting all those hits. Hits, but it's like a weird moments. That sounds so cool, but it's so out of nowhere.
Se lembra das crianças que um dia vão nascer, arranja uma pedra, nela temos que escrever palavras esquecidas com o tempo, mensagem pro futuro, passado pro presente.
I live for those moments. This is going. I think the title track did a great job of kind of acting as a standalone, but also as a finale, of course, to the album, because it took you through those moments of darkness. It definitely felt apocalyptic at many, many moments, especially with the organ and the keyboards, just downright hellish, while Mario on the guitar licked the flames. I mean, it got dark and heavy at many moments, but once again, Jane, angel that she is, brought us to the light. I love how at the end, how we move through that tunnel out of the darkness and into the light, and you really feel it in that climactic ending. That's the kind of ending and that kind of big melodic sound, like I mentioned before with the other track. That's the kind of ending that it feels earned, it feels deserved, and I think that you feel satisfied at the end of listening to this album. That's when you're like, yes, that's that catharsis that you're looking for. I love how the flute led it, and then eventually Mario came back on guitar and finished it off. I also like that little moment of pause. That little moment of pause, and then they give you a moment, and then it slams right back into it. It kind of reminds me, even though it's not exactly a pause, but the big moment in Awaken, we all know the big moment. It kind of gives me a similar feel, although that feeling in Awaken remains unmatched. But this is good as well. Just a fantastic band. Really impressed by all of them, but especially by Mario on the guitar. Once again, I can't speak for him because this is the first time I'm listening to him in the band. But I would wager that he's probably, if not like one of the best guitarists, very much up there. And probably has a well-deserved spot on whichever pedestal that he's standing on. The lyrics, the 4 nights are gone, the terrible mission is over. Look what's left on the earth, if it's the earth we look at now. Now we understand why those who lived would cry, lamenting the sad fate that destiny has in store. Remember the children who one day saw being born, arrange a stone, on it we have to write. Words forgotten with time, message for the future, past for the present. So I think that obviously it's the ending of the story, but I think that there is, a light at the end of this proverbial tunnel in their situation. I think that they have made it out on the other side. There have probably been sacrifices made, loved ones lost. They have their scars, but they're now looking forward to make a new life, to make a new home. But at the same time, when they wrote that line, remember the children, arrange a stone. You could argue gravestones, of course, for those who were lost and, to be remembered, but also how they say, on it we have to write words forgotten with time, the lessons that we've learned. How do we get into this predicament in the first place? And how are we going to remind our children and generations coming after us how not to travel down that same path and experience the same things that we experience in this post-apocalyptic situation? That is really, really good. This was a fantastic album. I think you guys already know what I'm going to say as my top track. Ultimo Entardecer, which, like I said, that one was Last Sunset. And I didn't really talk about Controversy. I tried to do it like really quick in the middle of the song. Controversy is fun, is exciting. It's like, that's like a prog band or a band that just knows each other and their hits and they're just jamming. Even though I usually don't like such quickly transitioning and not sporadic, but pieces like that, I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun to listen to. I actually really enjoyed Controversy. So, yeah, great album. Hope that you guys enjoyed it alongside with me, whether you've been sitting here. I want to say it's probably been like a little over an hour, I think. But yeah, hope that you've enjoyed listening to it with me. Hope that you've enjoyed spending the time with me. Please press the like button. It helps a lot. Press the share button if you'd like to share this video with other people. Like I said, I highly doubt that this is one of those albums that is going to get a ton of views. This isn't like, I don't know, listen to The Who or Queen or, a big band. But I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys liked it, because I did. That's what listening to the music is all about. That's what the channel's all about, just discovering music for ourselves, you and me. So anyways, do all that stuff that's on the screen. Thank you, as always, for spending some time with me. Come back tomorrow. You never know what we're going to do, because half the time I don't either. But we'll figure it out together, guys. Have a great one out there, and I will see you later. Bye.